Child labor mentally and physically destroys a child. Child labor increases child death. According to the text, 22,000 children die each year. Child labor takes away a child's childhood. Child labor should be stopped because children get no education because of it. It is destroying children. Child labor, it doesn't give a child a chance to learn. A child is being destroyed mentally and physically because of it. Child labor is one of the many things that increases child death. When a child has to work at a young age, that takes away a child's childhood. Education is important. A child should learn to read, write, and count early. No one should have to work in a factory at 3. Child labor is one of the many ways of child death. According to the text, a child labor has caused 22,000 through 33,000 child deaths since the 1900s. The condition that a child is put in causes death. Certain places are unclean, unstable, and unhealthy conditions for a child. Those conditions can seriously ill or injure or even kill a child. No one should have to work at a young age. Some are even killed before they turn 10. A child should get to have an education. Without having an education, children can't read, write, or count. That affects somebody's lives. That affects a child later on in life. Not having any type of education in their life. A child is supposed to start school at 3. Many children are working in the factories at 6. They are working 12-hour days, 12 to 16-hour days, little food, no pay. That's destroying them, mentally and physically. So what are we going to do about it? We have to stop child labor and think about the next child. I'm done.
Many people drink and drive without seeing any harm it can cause. Don't believe everything your brain thinks because drinking and driving is very bad. It's a very bad idea. You can cause many deaths and accidents, lack of coordination, and can decrease your eye vision. Getting behind the wheel of a vehicle, truck, car, motorcycle, or any other vehicle, drinking alcohol is a serious crime. Drinking and driving is referred to as drinking under the influence, which is called DUI, or drinking while intoxicated. It involves operating a vehicle with alcohol level of at least 8%. However, a small amount of alcohol can lead to harmful situations. Some drivers may not even seem or show with signs of being under the influence, but that doesn't mean it's any less dangerous. It's important to remember that any form of drinking and driving can lead to something very bad. Slow reaction time and lack of coordination. Having alcohol in your system will cause your body to react more slower in certain situations. Since your reaction time is slow, an accident happen, you won't be able to respond to something happening as quickly as you would if you were sober. For instance, if someone stops short in front of you or cuts you off, you may run into the back of them rather than being able to think fast, brake, and avoid the accident. Decreased vision begins able to see clearly is important when driving, and alcohol can cause problems with your vision. Drinking may cause your vision to blur or cause your eyes to move their own way. You may even partly lose your over and eye movement. The vision can influence how you are able to see your distance between the car and other vehicles or objects on the road. All in all, dangers of drinking and driving far outweigh the reward of chancing you'll get home safely, because it's a very bad idea and can cause accidents and deaths, lack of coordination time, and may decrease your eye vision. Safely drinking and driving is difficult even when you're sober, but adding alcohol into the mix is putting your life and lives of others on roads at risk. Make sure you make the right choice and don't attempt to drink and drive.
Children are getting taken almost every day. Nearly 800,000 children are reported missing every year. California, Florida, Texas, Virginia, New York, Ohio, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Illinois, and Maryland are the states with the highest number of unsolved missing children cases. Abduction is a major problem in the United States. Abduction is a problem that needs to be stopped because of the amount of children going missing and increases child trauma, and some kids die over it. The amount of children that are going missing is ridiculous. Every 40 seconds a child goes missing. That leaves a parent or two missing their child, not knowing where they are or if they're alive or dead. It's sad to say that in 2017, 260,977 females were taken, all under the age of 21. The year before that, there were 8 Amber Alert cases. Children are very easy to scare. For example, a clown could pop up out of the blue and scare a child. That one thing that happened in their life would traumatize them forever. When a child gets abducted as a baby, then they don't know what's going on, and the child looks to the kidnapper as a parent or guardian. But when a child is old enough to remember their mother or father or guardian and then get kidnapped, they'll be traumatized forever. Children all over the world are dying because of kidnapping. Children are being taken, raped, and killed. Kids start to scream and the abductor gets scared and kills them off. Sometimes people are crazy and take a child to get revenge for the parent and kill the kid. Rates of child murder has increased tremendously by 87%. Why do our children leave us on such a short notice? We have criminals who aren't in the right state of mind. They belong in a mental hospital where they can get treated. We as a nation need to help keep our children safe. We need to prevent abduction because of the amount of children going missing. It increases child trauma and some kids die over it. Okay, I'm done.
Allow life to drive, don't drink and drive. Drinking and driving could cause accidents, injury, deaths. Lots of people don't really understand the consequences of drinking and driving. License suspension. If you get a DUI, chances are you'll be suspended. You'll get your license suspended. So I recommend for you not to drive. When you drink and drive, you are embarrassing conflict of abilities and recognition and increase your risk of an accident. In fact, 28 people die each day because of drunk driving, car crashes. Get caught in a single drink driving, infraction may have illegal, financial, personal, and even personal ramifications. Some people even fall asleep behind the wheel of a car and kill or injure an innocent person. If I was you, I would not drink and drive. Lots of people don't understand the consequences of drinking and driving. That's why they do it. Some people try to be cool and show their friends how cool it is to drink. But the main consequence of drinking and driving is deaths and fines. Deaths and fines are a major problem in drinking and driving. Accidents are one of them, because if you kill someone in drinking and driving, you could get 25 to life in jail. Also, drinking alcohol while driving could lead to very expensive insurance and fines. At sentencing, you will face fines, jail, or driver license suspension, and the requirements that are participating in drunk driving education or consequent. There are also important insurance consequences of a DUI that may affect you for a long period of time or conviction. It all depends on how bad the accident is. If someone injured that day, you will have some time in jail. But if someone dies in an accident, you'll get 25 years to life. Drinking and driving could cause accident, injury, and deaths. Lots of people who drink and drive really don't understand the consequences of drinking and driving. Also, license suspension. Also, your license will get suspended. If you get a DUI, chances are your license will be suspended. Therefore, if you drink and drive, you have to pay insurance, fines, and get court admitted community service. So if you want to allow life to drive, don't drink and drive. Okay.
Gang violence is a big problem in the U.S. and it should stop. First reason why gang violence should stop is because so many teens are losing their lives over it. Also, many parents are getting put in jail because over gang situations. Finally, gang violence should stop because little kids have older children who are in the gang. they would look up to them and think it's okay to be in the game. So gang violence should stop because teens losing their lives, parents get put in jail, and because of younger siblings. First reason why gang violence should stop because teens are losing their lives. So many teens are joining gangs and getting put in situations they don't want to be put in. These situations will turn into other people, and the hate will turn into violence. Then when teens lose their lives over those situations, it will be sad, but none of it will happen if he won't in the gang situation. The second reason why gang violence should stop is that parents are getting put in jail. Parents are getting put in jail for their young children actions. Most of the time, actions that little children do is gang related. But older teens do the time in jail because of gang situation. So that's the other reason why gang violence should stop. The final reason why gang violence should stop is younger siblings. Some older teens might have younger brothers or sisters who look up to them. So, by the older brothers or sisters in the gang, the youngest going because the older sister is arguing. But that is not good being the young. There's just more problems when they get older. So the three reasons why gang violence should stop is first, teens are getting killed. Also, parents are getting put in jail. And younger siblings are looking up to older.
Don't drink and drive and you'll stay alive. You're no punk, so don't drive drunk. If you drink and drive, you're going to make someone cry. Okay, so I hate when people come when I'm talking. Indy, move that. See, damn it. She's trying to record what I'm doing and you wasting her time. Come on.
Good. Drinking and driving can bury someone in the grave. These deaths have fallen by the last 3 years. However, drunk driving car crashes claim more than 10,000 lives per year. In 2010, the most recent year for which cost data is available, these deaths and damage give the cost of $44 billion a year. Drinking and driving can cause someone to go to jail. The criminal offense may not involve actual driving of the vehicle, but rather may mainly being physical in control of a car while intoxicated, even if the person charged is not driving. Most drivers leading guilty to their first drink driving charge will receive a fine and lose their license. It is, however, open for the policeman to impose an actual period of custody, especially where it is a repeat drink driving charge. Drinking and driving can cause a car wreck. Why does drink and driving can lead to a car crash? Because when people drink alcohol, their body started to affect with the alcohol, making them psycho and crazy. I'm done.
Racism is a term that divides people because of race or color or of your skin. It divides people from each other. Racism also creates social and racial bias. And finally, racism also creates a schism between races. We will honor the deceased when racism will cease because racism divides people from each other, creates racial or bias, social bias, and creates a schism between races.
Gangs are neither just a big city or inner city problem, nor are they the problem of a particular race or culture. Gangs across ethnic, racial, socioeconomic, gender, and geographic boundaries. They bring fear and violence to neighborhoods, trafficking drugs, destroy property, involve youth in crime, and drive out businesses. Gangs pull teens away from school and home into life of violence. I'm not doing that.
Gang violence is very serious in the United States. The gangs in America are the worst they've been in years. There are a lot of dangerous outcomes that come with being involved in gangs. There's a lot of young generation involved in gang violence. Global Gangs offers a great understanding of gangs through essays that investigate gangs spanning across the nation. This shows that action needs to be taken by communities to prevent gangs from spreading. The quicker we can stop the gangs, the less gang-related deaths we will have to worry about. This will be a positive output on the community altogether. Nowadays, there is mostly the younger generations involved in gang activity. To put a stop to this, there should be a certain program for at-risk teens. This would be very effective to help the young teens' lifestyle. For every teen in this program or outing, that will be one less homicide that teen will be involved in. That would be a large improvement for everyone who is involved in this movement, which is 100% positive for everyone involved. The majority of gangs found in Hispanics and African Americans privately evoke physical aggression, especially on the part of young Black and Hispanic males. This is very important to know. To end gang violence in this population of gang members, there needs to be more talking instead of handcuffs and guns. There should be someone to listen to the problem. That is most likely the reason that people are being murdered left and right. If there was a person such as a counselor to talk about their problem, there will be less violence. This can be a huge improvement in the race against gang violence. Gang violence can't just be stopped. You have to actually work with each individual to show that you care about them. Otherwise, they will not pay anyone no attention. This takes a lot of time and can even be dangerous depending on the type of gangs you work with. Also, being in the gang can provide outcome what nobody else can. So this gang is this individual's full-time job, which pays for his or her bills. Youth join gangs for protection, enjoyment, respect, money, or because of friends in gangs. All the murders and robberies are going on in the world can be stopped. All I have to do is take time to help. All we have to do is take time to help. With the corrupt government, you can't really blame the gangs for their actions. They can't get what they need, so they sell drugs, prostitution, and home invasions just to get by because they can't get a job or get on the right track. This shows that the president really doesn't care for the lower class, but if you replace handcuffs with a friendly conversation, we can all make a change. We need to end gang violence.
So, how I look upon gang violence is we shouldn't do it because it's criminalizing our kind, because most of the gangs that we live in poverty are blacks. As brothers here, we're black. Well, I'm mixed racial, but all my brothers here are black, and we all come from the poverty. But we all trying to better ourselves and move on and better the communities and better our environments that we live in. So I feel like gangs are really something that came to help the community, but we turned it into a rival against each other, and it messed up our whole life cycle. We got kids being born into poverty, which will lead them into gang banging. We got Bloods, we got Crips, we got GDs, we got M14s, we got BDs, GDs, Stone, you feel me? And my brothers got killed, and one of my brothers is gang bang. He's Stone. He represents the red flag, which I don't, but I have it on me for this video. But y'all go ahead and put y'all perspectives in on the video.
So yeah, man, it's basically, African American basically born into this type of stuff, trying to get out of that type of stuff, and then being around the environment we in is like, man, we're gonna sit here and let somebody shoot at us and not get a gun and be scared, but when we do get a gun, it always end up in problems and stuff like that. We can't really stop. We're basically born into it, they be like, we already set up for failure because we African Americans, and the government ain't all corrupt, and all that type of stuff. So, and it's not really given to us like other families and households who get like $100,000 checks a month, get anything they want, $100,000, $500,000 houses. But you can't really complain. You just gotta do what you gotta do.
I think we should separate ourselves from people that influence us to do bad things, because most of the gang violence is peer pressure. And with black kids, they have a lot of friends that like to hold guns and stuff. That's not safe for our community. And you can get yourself killed and get in a lot of trouble.
I don't think that gang violence is really necessary, nor is it good or healthy for us as a community. Because many kids, teenagers, and young adults out here lose their life over gang violence that can be solved by conversation, handshakes, all that type of stuff. as black people, African Americans, or any other race that can be included inside of a gang, we should not carry ourselves as a gang member. Like, we should all come together instead of separating apart, causing drama between this side and the other side. We can all eliminate gangs by just sitting down and having a conversation with each other. And we can all bring each other together.
And what I think that gang banging it's not very good, because you can grow up from somewhere and then somebody will be from that other side, and just because somebody know you grew up out that neighborhood, somebody will kill you for being in that neighborhood, and you can't even gang bang, you don't even gang bang. So like gang banging, it ain't, that's not what you want to do.
I'll come back to me real quick for the video, man. Like this flag represents, hold on, I'm standing on the wrong side. This flag represents gang. It represents Bloods, Pyru, Stony, Billy, anything you want to say. But I wear this flag just to wear it because it's my favorite color. I don't gangbang, but somebody would see this flag and take you as an enemy if they represent the blue or the black, or they represent the 6 and I represent the 5. They'll take us as an enemy and we'll kill each other and start a war. We should end war by coming together, like my fellow man said here. We should come together and better our environments.
Long live Nancy Hudson.
Okay, hello, my name is Javon Wilson, and I will be talking about racism. Racism can make a person really antisocial because they're being verbally bullied or basically hurt about how they feel about their color or their skin. So racism can be horrible when it comes to people doing certain events or executing different actions. Also, racism can execute numerous actions that should not be enforced, such as violence. Racism can be used mostly going to certain schools. Many schools have a policy for racism, but it doesn't always confine in everyone. Furthermore, racism should not be forced on anyone and can be solved differently than using violence. Many people have to be careful who they meet and talk to because people have different beliefs and religions. Also, religious beliefs can affect relationships and cause people to racial profile many races. Racism can affect the meeting of new people because you may have heard divergent views on a certain race. Religious beliefs can put people between difficult situations, like when dating and your family does not approve of your choice in dating because of what they believe. 64% of Americans say they deal with racism daily. Also, racism can cause you to pick certain races to hang with because of the disrespect they get from a certain race. Racism is one reason why people do not want to experience life while being social or on social media. Many Americans deal with racism because they are different skin tones and are diverse in society today. Racism can cause someone to be antisocial because of the comments and the situations it can cause. Depression can be caused by racism because someone may be trying to make new friends and get racially assaulted and hurt their friends in a totally new way. Racism can cause chaos between races in many societies. They can cause riots, fights, and verbally and unintended word choices. Racism can make a person. Depression can be a result from racism because their insecurities about their skin color and how they look. Racism can result in chaos because some people cannot just leave things alone and like to use force because they do not like the way some people stand up to their racist comments. Racism causes many people to become antisocial, depressed, and chaotic. Thank you. That is all I have. Okay.
Poverty is everywhere. Poverty occurs to people who work, and the money made on average is below the U.S. Census Bureau poverty threshold. On money, a family of Last summer, I went on a missions trip to Tijuana, Mexico, and we went to serve at an orphanage. The heat was intense, and they just gave them a few balls and toys, and there was a playground, and they were as happy as could be. We went to houses around a bad community to pray for others, and we just glanced over and saw these two people fighting and throwing things at each other over a maybe $5 DVD player. And it just showed how much something so small and what would be easy to us to buy for us is hard for them. Houses would sometimes just be mud and brick houses with a large piece of metal as a roof, and everybody was comfortable with how they lived, or so it seemed. According to 2016 U.S. Census data, the highest poverty rate by race is found among Native Americans, 27.6%, with blacks, 26.2%, having the second highest poverty rate, and Hispanics of any race having the third highest poverty rate, 23.4%. Whites have a poverty rate of 12.4%, while Asians have a poverty rate at 12.3% of the population. Race and ethnicity would play a role in poverty because of something like acceptance or stereotypes, or even fear of one said person by their looks or past incidents. I think another thing that would tie into poverty based on race is trust or respect of one person. There has been a long-known unequal treatment when it comes to whites and blacks, and I believe people think of that and continue it more and more rather than bringing everybody together and accepting each other. I believe Asians have the lowest poverty rate, all because there are so many jokes and videos of Asians having all the nice things and their parents forcing them to become a doctor, and it's believable after seeing the statistics. About 15 million children in the United States, 21% of all children live in families with incomes below the federal poverty threshold, a measurement that has been shown to underestimate the needs of families. Child poverty. Child poverty is a real problem. It's not a choice. They can be born into poverty, or the family falls into
free. Drug abuse can affect many ways, mentally, physically, and emotionally. First, abusing drugs can lead to seizures and stroke and other symptoms. Secondly, it makes problems with memory, attention seeking, and decision making. Lately, abusing drugs will lead to fatal death and heartbeat. Therefore, those are three effects of drugs abuse, and I highly recommend not to use drugs. Drug abuse could lead to fatal symptoms such as seizures and stroke. And stroke is a brain attack. It can happen to anyone at any time. It offers when the blood flows in an area of the brain. But when this happens, the cells are free of oxygen and begin to die. Drugs can affect your body and brain. Different drugs can have different effects. Some are long-lasting and some are short. There are many symptoms and disease. Some long-lasting effects are very loss, attention seeking, and making. Lastly, abusing drugs can cause a tragic death. There are a lot of sudden deaths involving pills, meth, crystal meth, marijuana, and many more. There are many famous people who died, such as Matt Miller, Michael Jackson, and Whitney Houston. So don't think it can happen to you. I recommend not to use the drug for the obvious reason I can explain. Hopefully my three reasons will you.
I believe people should not join gangs because gang members make far less money than people who do not join gangs. And people who join gangs will not get a good job because most of them drop out of school or they either skip school. And I also believe that people should not join gangs because gangs are very violent and dangerous, and you could lose your life if you get arrested. So people should not join gangs.
People who are going through most things themselves like to punish other people for things that happen to them, which isn't fair at all. A lot of victims are women more than anything. Most women can't get away from domestic violence because they are scared to say anything. The moral of the story is you shouldn't be a part of domestic violence. If you abuse, you lose. Main reason is because when the eviction comes out, you are going to jail and you're going to and you're really going to regret after a while. And you're going to wish that you never did any harm to anyone. Just imagine if it was your mom or someone who is very close to you. Also, domestic violence can abuse someone mentally, physically, and emotionally. That makes them not even want to deal with anyone anymore. You always have to think about other people's feelings, also not just yours. So abusing someone isn't something you should just do at all. It's unacceptable to harm anyone.
1, go.
Finally, employers may lose their jobs and professional license in many professions. A conflict of drinking while driving is a serious enough crime to result in employment terminated or revocate whatever of professional license. You may lose your job. A lot of workplaces will let you go if you get a DUI. Might be good to check your employer if it's one of them. This is even more likely if your position is one of them, or if your employment by a say government doctor or blah, blah, blah. Okay, let's go.
No,
I don't want to do this. Okay, I'll continue. Employees by, doctors, nurses, lawyers, teachers, public figures, police officers, and others may all be at risk of losing their jobs or license if they get caught drinking and driving. Most employees in the U.S. work at will, which means they can be fired at any time for any reason, and they can quit at any time for any. Understanding the dangers of drinking and driving is not hard. Nevertheless, too many people continue to operate their cars while intoxicated, and individuals who has been tempted to get behind the wheel after they have a few drinks, or have been quick to hand over their keys to the sound driver after imbibing. Pay for a ride by calling a taxi or using public transportation are great options as well. Be a designated driver. If the person and his friends plan to go out for night like the bar, they should have a volunteer to be the designated driver. Pick everybody up or get everybody's key in advance. This way, no one will attempt to get behind the wheel after they've been drinking. That's all.
Woo!
Alright,
it's recording. Yeah.
If you want to stay alive, don't drink or drive. About 3 out of 5 people die from drunk driving because irresponsible thinking and actions. These are the main body parts with lack of coordination, such as eye, hand, and foot coordinations, which deals with motor skills also. Too much of drinking can badly affect your eyes because you have to look as you're on the road. Drinking while driving can also affect your hands. Most people get jittery while drunk, but others can't concentrate, so they'll lose control behind the wheel, which leads to a very bad outcome. Also, drinking and driving can affect your feet, which means you can get off the track on the pedal, which will also lead to either a speeding ticket or even worse, crashing. This will do such as eye, hand, foot coordinations, and that can mess your body parts up and also mess you up badly caused by alcohol.
Don't drink and drive if you want to stay alive. Drunk driving is a terrible idea because drunk drivers are putting people's lives in danger. Drinking and driving is also bad because lots of people die and get hurt. Last, it is bad because the effects of alcohol abuse vary, greatly putting you at risk for causing an accident or highway injury. Overall, drinking and driving is bad because you put other people's lives in danger. Drunk drivers can die and also get injured really bad.
You got it.
Drunk driving is a terrible idea because drunk drivers put people's lives in danger. In fatal crashes in 2017, the highest percentage of drunk drivers was for drivers ages 21 to
24, which is 27%, followed by the ages 25 to 34, which is 26%, and 35 to 44, which is 23%. Drinking and driving is referred to as driving under the influence or driving while intoxicated and involves operating a vehicle with a blood alcohol content level of at least 8%, while over 80% of American drivers have heard of the term BAC, blood alcohol content. Only 27% of drivers can correctly identify the legal BAC limit for their state. Drinking and driving is also bad because lots of people die and get hurt every day. Almost 30 people in the United States die in drunk driving crashes. That's one person every 48 minutes in 2017. These deaths have fallen by a third in the last 3 decades. However, drunk driving crashes claim more than 10,000 lives per year. The NHTSA reports that almost 29 people died daily in America due to drunk driving. That amounted to one person dead every 50 minutes in 2016. Last, it is bad because the effects of alcohol abuse vary greatly, putting you at risk for causing an accident or highway injury. Mark J. O'Gara, a 52-year-old father of 10 children, was killed on April 3rd in St. Paul when he was pulling out of the driveway and was hit by a speeding drunk driver. That driver was Jose O. Vazquez Gulen, a 19-year-old illegal alien.
Just get back in the video. Get back in the video. He can cut it out.
19-year-old illegal alien who came here in 2016 from Honduras in the United States in 2007. The death toll from teenage drunk driving accidents was 1,393, nearly 4 fatalities every day of the year. Drunk driving might not seem like such a serious problem to some people, but the facts show that it is very dangerous and very harmful to people in their lives. There are many facts, consequences, and risks about drunk driving. Drunk driving is against the law, and so why do so many people break the law and have one too many drinks? The consequences are also very serious. Sometimes people think they will not get caught drink driving, but the facts are that more and more people are getting pulled over, so don't drink and drive for once in their life.
No, I'll let him go.
This is the second part of Kenny's.
I'll tell you about the problems of drinking and driving and why it is concern for all of us, especially young teenagers. The first reason why you shouldn't drink and drive because you will get in a car wreck. There's a lot of living lives being took because of driving, and drinking doesn't even benefit you. So why do it? Drinking and driving is not worth the consequences. After people usually feel pleasure and become intoxicated, at first, these feelings are usually replaced by drowsiness as the alcohol is taken from the body, and the drinker may then become withdrawn. The pattern often encourages people to drink more to keep the buzz going. When people get they usually get a little bolder and want to do normal tasks and routines like driving motor vehicles. The effects of alcohol results is poor grammar, slurred speech, double vision, low self-control, loss of conclusions, and maybe even death. The legal consequences of drunk also serve
After even just one drink, a person can lose the ability to operate a vehicle in a certain part of the state. And intoxication, it becomes illegal to drive a car. If you get caught, it can possibly lead to time in jail or even death. The second reason why you should not drink and drive is because you can injure yourself, and a lot of people have injured themselves drinking and driving. For example, people have gotten paralyzed and even serious car crashes. Drinking is when you drive. For example, people have paralysis and serious car crashes. Drinking and driving. When you drive and drive, you take a chance of risking your life. Alcoholism is a condition that can be treated with the help of specialized treatment center. If you or someone you love is struggling with a drinking problem, it can slow down or get help, get life back on track. Also, you should not drink and drive because you are not paying full attention to the road. When you drink, you doze off and lose focus on the road. It puts you in danger of getting wrecked. Also have a serious injury because you didn't make the right choice. That's the third reason why you should not drink and drive. Therefore, drinking and driving will affect you in the long run. You will get in something that you can't get out of. Driving under influence has affected many families. Driving young as a teen is one of the most common and dangerous situations you can put yourself in or someone else in. The fact is that drinking and driving is a huge deal, can leave a long trail of broken dreams and broken hearts.
Illegal drugs are drugs not allowed. The law says a person can't own illegal drugs. A drug is a
What's it like, the cameras and the videos?
Fact that human body is man. Damn.
You good, bro? Keep going.
When it is consumed in any way. The fact that the brain of the drugs are illegal means a person is never allowed to have them. A heart attack is the death of a heart muscle caused by a loss of blood. The blood is usually cut off. A heart muscle is blocked by a blood clot. If some of the heart muscle dies, a person's chest pain and electric of the heart muscle tissue.
Today I would like to talk to you about the problems of drinking and driving and why is it a concern for all of us, especially young teenagers. The first reason why you shouldn't drink and drive is because you can get in a wreck. There's a lot of lives being took because of drinking and driving. Drinking and driving doesn't even benefit you, so why do it? Drinking and driving is not worth the consequences. My first reason is, after drinking, people usually feel pleasure and become talkative at first. These feelings are usually replaced by drowsiness as the alcohol is taken away from the body. And the drunkard may become withdrawn. The pattern often encourages people to drink more to keep the buzz going. When people get like that, usually people get a little bolder and want to do normal tasks and routines like driving a motorized vehicle. The effects of alcohol results in poor grammar, slurred speech, double vision, and no self-control, loss of consciousness, and maybe even death. The legal consequences of drinking and driving are also severe. After even just one drink, a person can lose the ability to operate a vehicle at certain parts in the state of intoxication. It becomes illegal to drive a car, and if you get caught, it can possibly lead to jail time or even death. The second reason is you can injure yourself. A lot of people have injured themselves drinking and driving. For example, people have gotten paralyzed in serious car crashes drinking and driving. When you can be treated to help specialized treatment center. If you or someone you love is struggling with a drinking problem, it's time to slow down or get help to get your life back on track. The
third reason, also you should not drink and drive because you don't pay full attention to the road. When you drink, you doze off and lose focus on the road, which puts yourself in danger of getting in a wreck. Also, you can have a serious injury because you didn't make the right choices. That's the third reason why you should drink and drive. In conclusion, drinking and driving will affect you in the long run. You will get in something that you can't get out of. Driving under influence has affected many families.